And when he's not the best football player who ever lived, they're in big trouble. Well, is that on the quarterback? No. Well, they paid him all that money. Lots of quarterbacks get paid all that money. And they're not the only thing that the team has, which is basically the case with Aaron Rodgers. So the GM and the coach, if the quarterback's pointing at them, he's not wrong.
Well, the quarterback is pointing at them, which is why I loved it. Because the bottom line, first of all, Aaron Rodgers is good for this, at least twice a year. At least twice a year, he says something to remind you, damn it, upstairs, I ain't getting much help. He does it all the time, except this time, you know what I'm saying, he got his money before he was wondering whether he was going to get his money, even though we all knew he deserved his money. In the end, 63% completion percentage, 7 touchdowns, just 1 interception, a quarterback rating of 97. You look at Aaron Rodgers right now, and you're just saying, damn, he's got limited help. But then again, there are some requisite weapons on the squad. Geronimo Allison is there. Devontae Adams is there. Obviously, Randall Cobb is there. These are guys that have been around for a long time. You know, age, attrition might be kicking in. He's not 100% healthy, and we all know that. But for me, when he called them out, it's reminding everybody we don't have what we need. In this particular instance, he's looking at McCarthy as well. Because McCarthy's been around. Let me tell you something. He does have a Super Bowl championship. He is to be respected. They went to 8 straight playoff appearances before they missed the playoffs last year. So it's not like McCarthy doesn't know what he's doing. But here's the flip side to it. We got to twist these questions around from time to time and ask it in this light. If I have a quarterback, the talent of Aaron Rodgers, is 1 Super Bowl appearance and 1 Super Bowl title enough for the length of time that McCarthy has been coaching? My answer would be hell no. And so when Aaron Rodgers say what he says, it reminds me that I need to continue to look at the coach and the GM and the president, football operations, before I look at Aaron Rodgers.
Sometimes when I hear Aaron Rodgers talk like that, sometimes I wonder, do they get together during the week of preparation and like build game plans together? Because I know like in New England, like Tom and Bill would get together and just talk about things that you like and don't like. And when you hear Aaron Rodgers say that, it's almost like Mike McCarthy is just building a game plan. It's like, okay, here, Aaron, go out there and play. And to me, when you're the caliber of Aaron Rodgers, you would think like, okay, both of these guys should be, you know, during the week making preparations together. Aaron, what do you like to do? What concepts work best for you so we can make sure we put together a game plan that you will feel most comfortable with? Because we keep having the same conversation, or we keep hearing the same back and forth between Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy. It's like, well, we're not featuring this guy. And you know, Mike McCarthy come back and say, our system is what it is. And it's like, dude, you have the best quarterback in the National Football League. Damn it, get together and make a game plan so y'all both can be on the same page.
Do you think the subtext is, because you hear like rumblings, that McCarthy's basically saying, look, if you don't try to be so spectacular all the time and just run the game plan, we'll do better, and Aaron Rodgers is freelancing a little bit, and that's what McCarthy is talking about?
Well, I will say sometimes it feels like Aaron Rodgers plays out of structure a little bit too much. And that's because he's so good. He's so good. You know, all the spectacular plays we see from Aaron Rodgers, those plays where he's going outside the pocket, but also those plays where we've seen him get hurt. Whether it's, you know, his shoulder, knees, those type of things.
But when you say what you say, I think it's very, very profound, because if there is a lack of communication, I'm not blaming the quarterback. He's there to work. So in other words, you don't tell me that the coach wants to meet with them and the coach wants to game plan with him and he's not receptive to that. You're the quarterback. You damn sure going to be receptive to what the coach wants you to do, because obviously the coach can get in your way if nothing else. And it piggybacks me off. Max, you'll appreciate this as well. I remember when I was doing NBA shoot-around years ago, okay? We had a producer, he still works at ESPN, outstanding producer named Mike McCarthy, okay? One of the things that he taught me, McQuaid's the man, no question. One of the things that he taught me, and I've carried it wherever I've gone when it comes to bosses, when a boss sits down with you, they're going to make the final decision. But when they sit down with you and they're communicating with you, okay, and you two reach an accord, then it's your responsibility to execute that game plan and stick to it. Now, if you don't talk with one another, you can't do that. If you do talk to one another and deviate from that plan, you're the one at fault. But if you talk and you and the boss agrees, and then all of a sudden you go out there and you execute what the boss asked you to execute, then excuse me, then it's not on you. It's on the boss, which is where it's supposed to be.
You know what that
And
reminds me of?
That's supposed to be. Dave Roberts, our boss, he's the same exact way. That's very, very important. That stuff matters. And you don't hear enough about that in football.
It reminds me of Mike D'Antoni.
Right.
Mike D'Antoni, in just the right situation, can be a great coach.
Right.
But where he has failed, and people have pointed to the unwilling kind of star players, Carmelo Anthony in New York, Kobe Bryant in L.A., where he's failed, the attitude's sort of been, it seems from D'Antoni, what can I do? The main guy ain't going to listen to me.
That's
what can
ridiculous.
I do? But the point of a great coach like Phil Jackson in his prime that gets overlooked with Phil is, okay, this way in isn't working. I have to figure out a way. The coach's responsibility to get these guys, to have these concepts land in their brains. How am I going to do that?
But what Kobe used to tell me was that they used to have those conversations. And
Right.
as a result, it was never incumbent upon him to deviate from that, because whether it was plan A, B, or C, what happened is he and the boss had talked. And when the boss is sitting down with you, he's not sitting down with you as a boss. Y'all are working together,
what
and then he's looking for you to execute.
They don't have the greatest relationship, McCarthy and Rodgers, and he's audibling a lot. That's
That's
basically
what
the bottom line of what it seems like. During the week is when you need to be together to formulate these things. And it feels
Too many times we see in post-game pressers where Aaron Rodgers is calling out Mike McCarthy, Mike McCarthy is calling out Aaron Rodgers.
Who do you blame between the two? Who's more to blame, if that's the question? I say McCarthy's more to blame.
Oh, McCarthy.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
Because my point is, based off of your question, Damian, what it says to me is you got a quarterback that might not believe as much in his coach as he should.
When Aaron
And
Rodgers,
I'm just guessing. I don't know. I don't cover the team. I'm just guessing.
And just go back to what you said. Go back to what you said initially. I think most Green Bay Packer fans would agree. Like a guy as talented as Aaron Rodgers, we're wasting his talent.
Yeah.
We're wasting him.